Hi, I'm Crescent, and welcome to my garden. Today we're going to be taking the first tour of my backyard so you can see what's growing and you can find out where my garden beds are, areas that need improvement. I'll talk about some of my plans. Then I will share part 2 of my cancer diagnosis story. Okay, I'm on my back patio and we quickly laid down these bricks for a walkway to a shed that we just built. And I would like to start growing some moss and other live-lowing plants that'll kind of go and grow around the bricks. Here is the garden bed that we built on the second episode of Harvesting Hope and Peace, I believe. And I will link that video below if you want to check that out. Here's the apple tree we planted. It has buds on it already, so I'm really excited about that. Here's the peach tree that I planted, and it also has buds on it. Here is a gigantic overgrown Chinese snowball bush. It looks like a tree, I know, but it's actually a bush. I will cut it back quite a bit once it blooms. I plan on taking this whole area back here and planting hostas, coral bells, hellebores, hydrangeas. There's a lot of mulch in piles. That's because I am currently working on my sprinklers in some areas and turning them into drip systems so they will more efficiently water my plants. We're just gonna go ahead and continue. This is a new bed that I added this year. I did till the soil for this bed. I amended the dirt and turned it into soil. And here is another bed that I added this year. Did the same thing. It's gonna be exciting to see maybe cantaloupe or acorn squash, cucumbers, trellising up. We'll just continue on. This is a big spruce right next to two ponderosa pines. This is my favorite area in my whole yard. I'd like to trim up this tree pretty high, and I'd like to grow maybe some Japanese maple trees under there, hostas, some ferns. I just think it'd be really, really cute. And then over here is kind of the main garden area. We have a cherry tree over there, a peach tree right here, and in fact, it started to blossom today. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And we have a pear tree, and this is one of the main beds. And here's another bed. My tomatoes probably will be here on this hog panel. And then we have another arch. And here's another bed. Here's some containers. We're gonna be growing in containers this year, and I'll show you how to do that in another episode. So you'll have to stay tuned to see that. This is a little bed that my son, I came home the other day and he had built this strawberry bed, and he said, this is where I'm gonna grow my strawberries. I said, okay. So that's basically my yard. I'm excited to figure out where I'm gonna put things this year and my different garden areas. We have some peas right there. And I'm gonna show you one more area. This is a bed that I'm working on for my daughter to be able to grow some vegetables in. I like raised beds because this is what our dirt looks like. It looks like this is rocks, but I promise it's not. This is dirt. And there might be a few rocks in there, but the dirt here is literally as hard as a rock. And I'm going to be amending this bed so we can grow more food. So this is part 2 to my cancer diagnosis story. I think where we left off, the doctor had just said we were going to run tests and that I would find out in a few days whether or not I for sure had cancer. In the next couple of days, I underwent MRIs, CT scans, bone scans, bone density scans, a cardiac test of some sort, just blood work galore. Basically any kind of test that they run, I probably had. Well, my mother-in-law and family decided that Mark and I needed to have a break. So they surprised us with a trip to Kauai for a week, and we were leaving Saturday. And this was Friday. I packed for Kauai, and my husband and I traveled there. On Sunday, we were eating in a restaurant in Kauai, and my oncologist called and he said, well, I have some news for you. You have stage 4 inductal carcinoma breast cancer, and we'd like to have you have a mastectomy as soon as possible, and we'll discuss, you know, further chemotherapy and radiation from there. I told him, well, I'm in Kauai and I won't be home until, you know, next Saturday. And he said, that's great. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and make an appointment with the surgeon, get you scheduled for surgery. So I said, okay. Kauai was amazing. It was so beautiful. I couldn't imagine being in a prettier place when going through such a hard trial. Here I was told that I had stage 4 cancer, that my life could possibly be cut short, that I wasn't going to be able to raise my children. The first day in Kauai was really hard. I kept thinking, oh, this is my last time to the beach. This is my last time having a vacation by myself with my husband. This is the last time that I'll eat a snow cone. This is the last time that I'll, you know, go to a luau. This is the last time. And then I thought, why are you doing that? Well, this is the first time. This is the first vacation you've taken alone with your husband. This is the first time that you've been to Kauai. This is the first time that you've eaten a wonderful snow cone with the ice cream down in the bottom and the nice, you know, condensed milk on top, sprinkled with, you know, little coconut chips. There's just lots of first times, and you need to enjoy those first times and not think of them as last times. So after that first day, we had fun. It was so much fun. There hasn't been a vacation that has topped it since then. When we returned on late Saturday night, my breasts started kind of hurting, and I noticed that there was swelling. And I went to my husband and I said, I think this thing is growing. And he's like, what? And so we called the oncologist, and he said, you need to go to the emergency room. So we went to the emergency room and they did some scans, and they said, yes, this is growing. It's an aggressive cancer. So we had talked to the surgeon, and they had decided to wait on having the mastectomy, and that I needed to have chemotherapy as soon as possible to try to shrink it before they went in there and tried to remove the cancer. That day in the hospital, they placed a port in my chest right here, and it went up to my main vein in my neck, and that was going to be where they administered chemotherapy. I had my first chemo in the hospital, and it took forever. It was like 10 hours I was there. There was 8 different concoctions, medications, whatever you want to call, that they run through an IV, and one was like bright red and one was black, and I was like, what the heck? They're pumping all this crap into me. The news wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. I had an aggressive cancer. I was stage 4. They were really worried. I'm religious, so I had asked for a blessing, which is kind of like a prayer, and I had asked for peace and to have a clear outlook on what I was about to embark upon. I remember my bishop and my husband giving me this blessing, and in the blessing it said that I would be healed and that I would be able to raise my kids. And I just took such comfort and peace knowing that my Father in heaven knew what I needed to hear. From that time forward, I just hit everything head on. Bam. I'm going to do this. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to be a statistic. I'm going to be that one who overcomes, that one who kicks cancer's ass. That's going to be me. That's what I did. It has now been 12 years. March 26th, 2009 was when I was diagnosed. That was over 12 years ago now, and I'm here. And I am so grateful, and I love life. Has it always been easy? No. I have dealt with a lot, and my cancer journey didn't end there. And I'll share more of that as we go on. Until next time, my friends, get your hands dirty, plant love, grow hope, and harvest peace.